o'clock, or is 1 o'clock okay?
It works for me.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, same.
All right. Is 1 o'clock works, or are you saying 2 o'clock?
1 o'clock
1 o'clock works.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
1 o'clock works. Okay.
I don't even know if you can see me. I don't know. Okay.
I cannot see you, Tony. No.
You can't? What am I doing wrong? Do I got to push a plus or something? What is going on? Let's see. You can hear me, but you can't see me.
Right. What is the icon from you? Are you on your phone, Tony?
No, I'm on my iPad, and it just has a blank picture. It has my name, and then it has a plus and a minus.
Anybody have any suggestions? I'm not sure how it looks on the iPad. Yeah, on my laptop, I have the video icon. So if I click video, then that's what turns mine on and off.
Oh, okay. I don't know what I need to do for that. Let's see. I don't know. Let's see. I don't even know. Let's see. I don't want to hang up, so I don't want to mess with it too much and hang something up.
Right. Yes, I do understand that.
Okay. Let me see if it says picture. Nope.
Do you see where your camera is, Tony?
Yes.
Is it open? Is there a way to cut it on?
I see where it says start video and my camera has a slash on
Right,
it.
you need to click on that. That's going to cut it on.
Okay. There we go.
Yep.
There's that beautiful face.
Okay. Thanks for the help.
Anytime.
Very good. Very good. All right. And we do have folks still signing on. So we are going to start right at the 105 marker. So I'm glad you all like the reminders. We are going to keep it at 1. We had brought up the whole 2 o'clock thing because we were trying to make it hybrid, to have the people who wanted to come in person come out to the winery, but the winery doesn't open until 2. So that would make us have to shift. So if 1 o'clock is good, I'm good. I'll just find a different venue, right?
Well, that sounds good. The winery, that would be nice.
Yes, yes. So then if we do the winery, then we would have to do 2 o'clock. It would still be hybrid though. So we could accommodate the folks who are online.
Oh, okay.
2 o'clock wouldn't be an issue for me. Either or works.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same for me too. Either way.
All right, perfect. All right, so we're going to do 2 o'clock. All right, well, excellent. Well, thank you all again for joining Savvy and Successful Book Club. The whole purpose is to talk about personal and professional development. We are all entrepreneurs, business professionals, or retired from these professions, and we're parents, we're all these different things, we're volunteers, and we all need a way to continue to grow, to continue leveraging our experiences, and learn about self-care. That's really the thing, right? Because we forget about ourselves in the process.
We do.
That's really the key. All right, so to set a positive intention for our discussion today, I would like to go around and have everyone take a quick second to introduce yourself. Just tell us your name, tell us where you're zooming in from, and just share one positive word that resonates with you on how you like to show up in the world. All right, so I'm Satira Tyler. I'm your hostess with the mostest, and my intention is just gratitude. I have a grateful heart. I am grateful for everything, even the bad things that happen, because it's lessons in them, right? So my word is gratitude. I show up with gratitude, all right? And you can just go whenever you want to go. We can start at the top on my screen. I got CJ, you want to go? We can start at the top and just go around.
You took my word. My name is CJ. It's Claudia, but I go by CJ. I'm from Carbondale, Illinois. That's where I'm at now. I have to think on that because that's always my word. You know that. I'm grateful for so much. I'm grateful to be able to um, have this time to just reflect on life and just navigate through everything that goes on, on the daily. So that's about it. I don't have another word besides gratitude.
All right, Elena.
Hello, everybody. I'm spiritual coach, and my word is inspired. Hi. So, since I'm talking all about inspiration, and I like to bring your inner child to inspired inner child, so this is my word.
Very nice. Thank you so much. Kevin?
All right, so my name's Kevin. I'm currently in Chicago, Illinois. I don't know. I pretty much need to think about the word, about what inspires me. But let me think on it, and I get back to you on it.
Okay. All right. Before the call is up, you got to have a word.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Tony.
Hi, I'm Tony Jennings. I'm Zooming from Las Vegas. I am retired, and my word is thankful. I'm very thankful to be able to see another day. I'm thankful to being able to spend time with family and friends and enjoy my grandkids.
Very nice. That's always a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
Lisa? Okay. Keep going. Okay. Okay. Marla?
Hi, my name is Marla Chaffin, and I am here in Las Vegas. My word is integrity. I believe that it is very important to do what you say, and so I really resonate with that word because I think that's probably the most important thing for me in business.
Very good. Integrity. Yes. All right. April?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm April Noble, and my word is, so I guess it's 3 words, serve other people.
Okay.
I feel the best when I'm not just thinking about just serve other people. And that's what I would like to serve as my inspiration.
That's right. Very good. Lisa, you ready?
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Over here pressing buttons, I swear it gets me in trouble every time. My name is Lisa Foster, and I'm here in Las Vegas. Kevin, I'm originally from Southside Chicago. So I'm not sure where you're at, but if I had to choose one word of the way I want to show up, it would be transparent. You know, I want to show up as I am without any misnomers. You know, it just is what it is. You know, transparent and loving probably would be the 2 things together.
Very good. Very good. See, so we just created some beautiful energy, right? It's about creating the energy that you want, putting that energy out that you want to receive. Mm-hmm. Now, at our last book club meeting, we were talking about The Power of One More by Ed Milet. And we kind of got on the topic of self-care and, you know, what that looks like for each one of us. And so I was inspired to invite my good friend, Elena, to come in and tell us just a little bit about meditative art. So, and I'm not going to try to describe what she's going to talk about because she can do it way better than I can. So she's going to take about 10 minutes to tell you about her book. And then after that, then we'll get into the 4 agreements. All right, Elena, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, and please let me know when it's 10 minutes come up because I can talk. It's not really a book. It's okay. It's just coloring journal. for your inner goddess, awakening your inner goddess. And I am I'm a coach, and I use a lot of tools how to bring out your energy, because when we trained as kids to suppress our inner child, and our inner child actually have all this inspiration, courageous interest to life, but we're losing that with time to play the role as adult. And we play as adults so good, we forget about our inner child. So here's this book. It's like one side you write your notes, and another side you doodle, and I show you. So it's like little face, but the thing is, you come up with your own design. Okay, you perfect. In my class, everybody perfect. Because when you have your child, let's say she is or he is 5 years old, you would never tell your child, hey, you don't do it right, your line is whatever, crooked. You know, you say, oh my God, you are perfect, you are wonderful. So we forget about this feeling when our mom, let's say, give us this encouragement, wonderful words that we feel like, oh, I would love to do more. And that's why I call myself a spiritual coach, because I love to inspire your inner child. And I tell you what, I have this little picture. So this is our neurons, right? And our neurons actually, those big nuts, okay, this is habits. And this is very interesting. When you want to change your habits, you change your life, right? Our habits control our life. So why is habits very important? So to create the new habits, we need send the energy of our intention. See, it's a little more sparks here to create this new habits. Okay, and it takes some time. So that's why doodling and this neuro symbol, I call it like it's when you meditative art, you connect your body, your mind, and your spirit in one. Okay, so you have some focus on your goal, you have new project, you have certain inspiration to move forward, right? You sparkle some of them here, you know, but to keep it more focused and create new habits, let's say even for our body, something new that our body hold us back. That's why we have our blocks. So this picture of our nervous system, right? So I try to be fast, sorry. And our nervous system hold us back. So let's say in my mind, I said, I want to be a millionaire. My body said, no, stay on the couch, or go to the kitchen, or let's find something else, because our body have a much more bigger, it's much bigger than our mind. So that's why we need to connect our mind and our body, and that's when this meditative art come up very handy. So when you come up with some idea, okay, you have an idea, you connect your body and you draw. And I ask you to put your adult on the side and draw with your inner child. Let's say the 5-year-old take a pen, and your adult thinking about like, okay, it would be nice such and such, but your child relax your body, relax your nervous system. And when your nervous system give up, okay, when your nervous system like, okay, and you keep saying, you know what if it's easy? What if it's will change my life in good way? And then your body relax even more. You start to feel like all this energy, like it's different. Some people have a hot body, or relaxing and breathing. So, and then you actually connect all together. So when you connect your mind and your body together, what happens is you start to vibrate differently, right? And when you vibrate differently, what happens, ladies? You become different magnet. I mean, so gentlemen too. I'm sorry. I used to be with the girls mostly. But when you start to like breathe and connect with your idea, you become different magnet. And a lot of people have an amazing changes after they start to do this meditative art. You don't have to think, you don't have to really focus how good you are or not. You just do your lines. I can show you more about this, but the thing is, when your body drop the guard, people start to call you because you become a different magnet. People start to open door for you. All of a sudden you come up with such a great idea, $1 million idea. People have all different miracles come true, like they manifest because this guard, actually, we used to live with our guards, because it's not that it's bad. No, it's not bad. Our body learned to protect us. So that's why when we think about, okay, so this is not bad, we have all these blocks, but we need to look deeper why we have this block. So that's why I love what I do, and I really love this meditative art, and I love to show you how easy it can be. As soon as we let go of the guard, things start to happen. Just think about when you go to doctors say, relax, it's gonna be okay. But when we in a world like we've been taught, be how you say that, like be tight, be tense, like you can do it. So, and this is very hard to get what you want, because your energy is totally different. Okay, so it can be hard way and can be easy way. So I think I'm pretty much done. Anybody have a questions I can answer?
You explained it very well.
Thank you so much. So see, I talk to your inner child, really, because when you imagine, you put your adult on the side, your parent, your mental parent on the side. We as a kids, we can understand each other. We can play in the playground together. We can create something together. But when we think as adult, it's like all this competitive part of us come up, because we train this way. It's nothing wrong with this, but it's just different way to manifest, to go forward. So I choose to go easy way.
Very good, very good. Well, I'm a huge fan of the meditative art. I actually, I have a coloring book. I went out and I have several coloring books. I have crayons and markers and coloring pencils. And I had started doing that before I even did the meditative art with Elena. And I don't even know why I was drawn to it, but I did it, and it was a release, right? And so I can attest to that. There is a freedom in just letting go. You really do unwind. And when you unwind, you open yourself up to receive whatever is out there for you to receive. Because otherwise, when you all tensed up, you think about the same thing. It's something getting on your nerves, the same hamster wheel you on. But when you start coloring or doing your art or crocheting, whatever form you decide to use, then it actually helps. So, and I could never draw, so doing meditative art, I'm good going outside the line. So. All right, very good. Well, Elena has a cool book. It is on Amazon. So if anyone wants to check out the coloring book, and I noticed that it did have some prompts in there. I just got mine in the mail. So it does have some prompts in there where you can create an affirmation and then, create your sketch from there. So Elena, thank you so much for your time. I do appreciate you coming on and to share your expertise. So much of what she said, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
We get to dive right in. Very good. So that was on time. All right. So we got quite a few questions that we can go over, but I want someone out here to throw out a question. Tell me anything. What did you think about the book? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did it resonate with you? You fell asleep on it 20 times? What?
Hey, this is Lisa. I think that this book could not have been chosen at a better time. For everything that's going on in society, what's going on in the world. I think that this book to me resonated not only personally, because I'm having an issue with my youngest daughter, and I was like, you know what? It's not about me. It's not about me. I don't know why I made it about me, but it's not about me. But then as I went on and thought about the fear mongering, the fear, the tenseness, how all of that applies, how the words matter, and how that manipulation is still going on today to the masses. So I thought it was very appropriate and could be applied to what's happening out in the world today.
Yes. So how do you think society would change though if the whole world practiced this? Like this would be not something that we can't even imagine, right?
If people really understood the power of their words, and that, I was always taught, say what you mean what you say, because words do matter. And don't, like I have a thing with my husband, if I'm angry or upset, we're not talking, because I never want to say something to you that I wish I could take back. So I'll just wait until I can be, what's a good word? Let's say rational. Let's choose rational.
Right.
So I can be rational and calm, and we can have a conversation about it. Because speaking out of anger doesn't get you the results you're looking for. It's more of a, I need to negotiate to get what I need from you. I think the world needs to understand that all of this matters, and how that manipulation is going on with the words all over the world today. And now with the use of the internet, you see people so free to just, I call them internet tough guys. They're so free to get on, social media and berate someone, but would they really be that way if they were standing in front of you?
Right, exactly.
That is very true. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it would be complete. It wouldn't even be social media if everybody was on the same page with the core agreements, right?
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people say a lot of things that's sometimes good and bad because they are behind the screen, and they take advantage of that.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think something, and I got to get better with writing down the pages so that I can reference. So I truly want to get better at that. But I know he talked about relationships, and that was something that was really important to me because, naturally I'm a relationship person. Like I love relationships. I love people. I love getting to know people and, growing with them and meeting their families and what have you. And my profession is a relationship business. And so somewhere in here, he talked about how, sometimes we get into these relationships, be it personal or professional, and, you kind of feel like, oh my gosh, this would be so much better if this person would just do this, or if this person was just like this. And, and we accept the relationship as it is now, hoping that it'll change. Mm-hmm. And it really don't, and he even said it, like if somebody don't like you the way you are, then tell them to kick rocks, right? Tell them to beat it. Right. So to me, that was something that was important because I'm always trying to hold on to those relationships, Lisa, something you said at the last call, I was actually glad to hear you say it out loud because it was how I felt on the inside. But I was like, I shouldn't say that. But thank you for saying it because now I'm confident in saying it. I do have those relationships where now I only talk to them once a year. They may get a card from me, and then somebody else, I may talk to them, way more regularly than that because you do have to be able to protect your energy. So this helped me be okay with that. Just it's okay to have those separations. Every relationship is not going to be the same. Right. So, and then it also tied into the power of one more, right? Mm-hmm. He even talked about the same thing, Ed Milet, like, you should only have so many people in your close circle anyway, and everybody else should, find their way to the outskirts. Don't mean they don't have a connection with you, but it's up to you to determine what that connection is. You, the boss. So,
I think it's important to have that understanding. And the other thing that they talked about is say yes to the things you want to say yes to and no to the things you don't want to do or you want to say no to. But you can only do that if you're really being true to what's important to you. Yep. Because I find myself sometimes saying yes to things that I just don't want to do. And and so I go there forcing myself to do it, and it's usually a bad situation for everyone. In 2025, I decided that the things that I'm going to commit to are the things that I'm going to do. And I'm okay with saying no to anything that's outside of that list.
Yeah.
And it's got to be non-negotiable. It's got to be, just, hey, I'm not able to take that on at this time, or I'm not able to attend. And I feel so much freer in just being like, I got invited to a housewarming party by someone who tolerates me. And normally, because it's somebody I do business with, a part of a couple, I would go. And so when asked, I was like, you know what? This is the year where I'm going to go where I'm celebrated. So no, I'm not going to go and put myself in my situation because I won't enjoy it.
Yep,
Just no, I'm not going.
I think sometimes people make you feel guilty of saying no. And deep down inside, you want to say no, but you know that they're going to make you feel guilty. So then you just go ahead and do it, even though you really don't want to.
Yeah. That's good stuff. I've gotten comfortable with leaving no as it is, because sometimes people expect an explanation on why you can't do something or you don't want to do something. And you don't even owe an explanation because I don't want to, because I don't want to. That is why, I don't need to tell you because I got something else going on or my stomach hurt, or it's none of your business. No is a complete sentence, right? And you have a right to exercise that. So, yeah. Was there? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm pleased to accept my apology. I only wanted to just tap in on with saying no. My issue of maybe loved ones that I love very much and have done lots of things for them, and they've done lots of things for me. And when I want to focus on, teaching at church for years and years, and then when I say, hey, I really want to do this, and I didn't feel bad, but I was kind of made to feel bad that I didn't do, something else, even though I love my family dearly. And I didn't even say no. I just said, I really want to go back to church and do this. And it was interpreted as, don't ask me to do that. And I felt bad about that. And so I'm familiar with, I feel like my family are definitely at the top. And I didn't even say no, and I felt guilty about saying what I truly wanted to do.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I hear you, April.
Big one.
Getting people to respect what your priority is and not guilting you into what they want you to do, but allowing you to be true to who you are, April. I get that.
Yeah.
I get that too. People want you to change for their benefit and not your own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So how did you deal with that, April? I know you felt bad about it, but how did you resolve that?
I talked to them personally about it because we are extremely close, and there's nothing that I wouldn't do for that family, and I was, but I need to go back to church, and it was like we talked about it over some drinks, and it's still out there, but I mean, I'm doing really what I really want to do. I can serve at church and serve my family too. I mean, it just can't be all the time. I mean,
Right.
I understand that.
That's right. And it's so funny. This making me think about a recent conversation I was having with my family. We were in Atlanta. We went out there to see my daughter, and we were talking about what motivates us. And, typically when you're a parent, it's, for me at least, it was my children that motivated me. They were my why. That was the reason I got up every day at the same time and did the same thing for umpteen years, because it was for them. And so now I'm an empty nester. And so anyway, I posed a question to our table, and so I said that, my motivation was I want to be able to travel and see my grandson more. Well, my daughter was at the table, and she was like, well, what about your kids? And it was just like, well, she was like, well, daughter. And she's an adult now. I mean, she's 21, but still, she's an adult. She lives on her own.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to get up and get dressed and go do anything for her. But she didn't take it that way. But I did feel a certain way after she said it, because I was like, well, dag, like, I need to pivot then. Maybe my motivation still should be, and it is though, that's why I want to be able to travel. Right. So that I can go see them, because we are all spread out now. So, but it caused me to come back and rethink, and I shouldn't have to second guess myself, so it's just self-awareness and, all of that kind of stuff too. And helping you be confident, I think.
Satya, I had something similar because my grandkids run me. But you know what I told my daughter when she said it? I said, me wanting to see my grandkids doesn't mean I love you any less.
Right.
I'm still here for you. I still love you. You're still my number one. The difference is I get to tell them yes for all the years I had to tell you no.
Yeah.
And
Well, Satara, I heard Savannah was a beautiful place and they got some great cuisine. So.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Anybody else have anything they want to add? Like something that jumped out from the book? Anything that resonated with you?
I really like that don't take anything personally. A lot of times, especially in all of my work and everything I'm doing, it's very easy for, I have a goal and I have a focus and that's where I'm headed. And then somebody else says, oh, no, you can't do that, or whatever. And it's very easy to get your feelings hurt or make you feel like you're maybe it's not worth working for, or it's not worth doing. So I just have to remember that I can't take things personally, because a lot of times things are out of my control and I just have to let it be. And sometimes it's, the person that may have hurt my feelings or whatever, they have their own agendas, and I just have to let that be also, because they're on their path. But that's very hard to do sometimes. It's just to let it go and not let it hurt you. And then you can't make assumptions. So that's the other big one is, sometimes you just assume that they know that you're doing this and they're behind you, but maybe they aren't. Maybe they have their, they think it needs to go a different direction. So it's very easy to get your feelings hurt or to assume somebody else is on board or has your back, and maybe that's not the case. So you can't make assumptions, and you can't get your feelings hurt. So those are the two big ones that hit me when I was reading this book. Because it happens a lot, seems like to me anyways.
It does.
Anyways,
it happens to me a lot too. So I understand.
I do too.
Go ahead, Tony.
I was gonna say, I have to question myself. I'm like, am I reading too much into this? I'm being, dramatic. So I definitely understand that.
I was just talking about that before we got on the call. I was talking to Kevin, and I was saying how it's someone who I know professionally, and I see them often. Mm-hmm. And even sometimes we're very familiar with each other, but we're not friends, right? We're just familiar with each other, and we may have a little quick passive exchange, a few words, but that's it. Mm-hmm. Well, this particular day, when I saw them, I went up and hugged them. And when I hugged them, they went, oh. Wow. And I took that personally. So then now I'm like, okay, now I got an attitude and do something about this person. And now I've built this a whole story just inside my head about this other person. And who knows, maybe, I was the one that was wrong. I had no business going up hugging this person. We didn't have that type of relationship. That wasn't a welcome thing to do. They may not even like hugging, So I agree. Like I do it all the time too. And that's probably of all the 4 agreements, the one that I feel would be the hardest for me to break.
Yeah, me too.
Because I'm so quick to feed off somebody else's energy. You know, if you give me something, I'm gonna give it right back.
Yeah, that's why I say I'm a work in progress.
Have to stop.
I kind of discussed this with you yesterday. And going back through this morning, it really convicted me because I took something very, very personally, and especially when it's related to my kids. I'm like very defensive. It's like, hold up, wait a minute. Please don't tell me how to raise my kids, especially for people that don't have kids. So it's so easy to, like you said, get into that combat mode, ready to box, when somebody questions your ability to do something that that you're fully capable of doing.
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
Yes. And that was really a good example. I don't know if you want to share that one with the group, because I was like,
I can share a little bit of it, but
okay.
I'm kind of in that space where,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay.
But it was.
Say it if you want me to.
Right. Well, I'd taken off to take care of a sick child, and I was asked why, my husband couldn't do it. And, I felt like, hold up. And before they said, that's what they said before they even said it. They were like, I know it's none of my business. No, it's none of your business. But me being who I am, I defended it. This tax season, he's working with the international students trying to get, international tax and payroll, out. And he's stressed as it is. So I'm not trying to put that extra on him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Me, on the other hand, I'm their mother. I'm going to take responsibility to take care of my kids no matter what. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm not, not that I wouldn't, I called him to let him know what was going on, but that's just instinctual for me to take charge. When they're sick, it's like, okay, what do I need to get my baby? How do I need to take care of them? And it hurt that this person was like, well, why can't I just find it so unfair when the man can't do this and the man can't do that? And it's just like, I had to stop myself and say, this person doesn't have children. And so I shouldn't have allowed, what they had to say to even bother me, knowing that fact. I should have just let it roll off. But of course, like I said, it's just so easy to jump to defense when somebody questions your ability to take care of what you need to take care of for you and your family.
Yeah, and I believe that that's even harder when it's your children. If someone make that type of statement, because this is your children. And at the end of the day, no matter how old they get, they still going to be your children. You're still going to be their mom. So that's kind of a natural thing as a mother to step in and respond that way.
Yeah. I feel like another example too, I was thinking as you were saying it, as an entrepreneur, right? We make our own hours, and it's not always 9 to 5, and I have friends who are not entrepreneurs. They work set schedules, and folks always have something to say about my work ethic. Like, all you do is work and and I let that affect me, but I can't, because they don't know what it feels like to be an entrepreneur and to be as passionate about something as I am. They're not in the same space that I'm in, so what looks like work to them is not work to me. I'm enjoying it. So in the book, he did talk about how, and Elena talked about it, right? Waking up that inner child. We get domesticated early on. Good girl, good boy, bad boy, right? And our whole life is catered to not getting reprimanded, And so I think the greatest freedom I feel like I have from the book is just being unapologetically me and just saying, you know what, this is it. This is just the raw version. Like it or love it, you know, and if you don't like it, kick rocks. You know, it's okay. You know, it's enough people around me who love it. It's okay. You know, so I have a list of questions. If anybody else wanted to pop in, Kevin, what did you pick up from the book? Anything that jumped out? Any of the 4 agreements that you wanted to elaborate on?
So I'm pretty sure I knew you was gonna put me on the spot here, but
You know it.
I mean, you kind of hit on it, the freedom as a child. You know, Elena kind of talked about it, and you know, not worrying about what happened in the past and not worrying about the future, and just kind of living in the moment. You know, I've always been a person that, you know, you live for today, but you plan for tomorrow. You know, so we gotta learn to kind of enjoy ourselves right now, but we can't keep our eye off of the future because, you know, if you don't plan for it, when you get there, you're not ready for it. You know, but we still want to have that freedom and that joy that you get from being a kid. You know, we always chasing that. I think back to that one great summer I had in high school where, you know, I had all types of fun. And I keep trying to relive that summer, but summer never comes because that experience it's just not the same as an adult when you get responsibilities. So, you know, living in the moment is very precious, and I think we need to think about that a lot more. So,
Yeah. I think when it comes to, like, it's a word, we brought up the internet, right? These words come on internet and then we start studying them, like narcissist. You know, I went on a whole tangent with narcissism. and you know, and all of a sudden everybody's diagnosing everybody as a narcissist. And, you know, and trauma is another word that's out there. You know, everyone, you know, is talking about their trauma. But here's the thing, though. I feel like, and I'm not, you know, any type of medical profession. I never studied anything. It's just an opinion. But I feel like every single one of us have trauma, anxiety, and, you know, we got issues. We all have it. Like, but it's how connected we are to it that helps us navigate. You know, like it's self-awareness. Like, I know I have this trauma. I know that these are my triggers, right? I know that these things exist. So therefore I can be present and, you know, go towards my future. Whereas I have these traumas and they're haunting me every day. I cannot get off this hamster wheel because I can't, you know, I'm steady thinking about this thing that happened 10 years ago, or like you said, you know, this one experience that I'm trying to recreate. I'm trying to, you know, get that same, and it's not gonna happen, right? So I just wanted to share that, you know, throw that out there as well. I hope that makes sense.
I mean, in the book, that's what he was talking about. Those are those past agreements that you made. You know, those things that are controlling your life moving forward.
Yeah.
You know, you got to break those agreements so that you can create new agreements. So.
Yeah. I even think about being a parent. I mean, I'm an empty nester now, you know, and they say, you know, what they say, vision is 2020. Oh, hindsight is 2020, right? You know, when you look back, things seem so much, you know, clearer, you know, about things. But yeah, but I won't dig off into that. So that's all good stuff. All right, so I have a question here. Can you think of a time when making an assumption caused a misunderstanding? How could applying the third agreement have helped? So I just gave my example with making an assumption. Anybody got anything about assumptions that they want to talk about anymore? We beat that one up.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. All right, let's talk about being impeccable with your word. That's the very first one. You know, what did that mean for you, being impeccable? At first, you know, the first thought just reading the title, I was just like, oh, you know, like you said, Lisa, mean what you say what you mean, you know. I felt like he took it a whole level deeper, you know, because now he's saying, it's the energy behind the words, right? Only put out those words that's going to give you the energy you want to receive back. Right. So that was a whole different level. So then it gives me pause when I'm having road rage, right? Because I'm in traffic quite a bit, and I'm like, you know, and I don't need to be that way. You know, this person could be having a bad day. They could have just gotta, you know, anything could happen, right? They got to hurry up and get home to use the restroom. Who knows, right? But who am I to put out these words, you know, to people I don't even know, you know, and, you know.
Yeah,
Or even, okay, go. Or people that you do know. I mean, because sometimes, you know, people like what happened can rub you the wrong way, and you got all manner of things to say about the type of person they are and what they do, what they don't do. And what you don't realize is that, you know, while you're sitting up there ranting and raving about this person, they're living their life. And that negative energy is stuck within you, you know, and you're not finding a way to just let it go and just be you.
So I do a lot of recruiting and talking to college students and things like that, you know. So I'm always trying to be careful with what I say to them. You know, it ain't what you say, it's how you say it. And I'm always trying to, you know, put some positive words, and, you know, if they come to me and their GPA is not where it needs to be or their resume is not right, I'm trying to talk to them in a way where I can encourage them and use my words to, you know, instill in them that they still got the potential, but you just got to go back and you got to put a little bit more work into it. And, you know, reading this book and thinking about the power of your words, you know, you have to really be careful about what you say to people, because you can say something that will derail their whole life if they actually believe it. So, you know, that was really powerful to me.
Yeah. That's a challenge sometimes.
Yeah.
I was kind of talking about something similar last night. Me and my husband were talking about how, along the same lines of what you just said, Kevin, watching what you say to your kids. You know, that was one of the things that really got to me as a kid is, you know, my mom would always, and she still does it now, but, you know, now I can ignore it. You know, she would say things to make me feel like I wasn't very smart, like I wasn't, you know, intelligent enough to get, you know, certain things. So I think in that, having that experience, and she doesn't recognize that she's doing it. No matter how much I've said something, I got to a point where I got too old to even have that discussion with her. But now I know that I have to watch what I say to my children and how I say it to my children. And it's something that I've talked extensively with my husband about, because, you know, he grew up kind of the same way, with his father being very negative and being very just brash with him. So, you know, that trickled down. And, you know, we've had discussions where I've said, you know, okay, look, this is not a good way to talk to the kids. You know, you have to be able to speak with them in a way that encourages them and uplifts them and makes them feel like they matter, essentially.
I can relate to what all of you have said about the words, and especially with the children. I just want to say that the things that like encouraged me and motivated me growing up, and you know, in high school and all that, is totally different than what you know, my 25-year-old daughter and my 18-year-old son, and I found that maybe the things that maybe myself or even my husband said have been traumatic, and they are angry and they're mad and, you know, and pissed off. And I just was like, wow, I thought I was being positive and encouraging and loving. And they're like, well, when you said that, it just wasn't, and you said that. And I'm not happy about that, but I can't do anything about that. So I just want to say I relate, you know, to the things that you all were saying. Mhm.
Oh my gosh, April, we'll have to have coffee sometime again because that was the thing that I was like, I'm not gonna get too deep, but yes, that's exactly it. I think as the mother in my household, I was the disciplinarian. I was the one that kept them in line, and this is how we do it. You know, he just financed everything. You know, so it's like I was the bad guy. So anything I said was the bad thing, you know, like, but you said this, but he said the same thing, you know, but he said it nicer. You know, it's just like, you know, I don't even know. But I felt like you do get a bad rep, you know, for being honest. And that's what you're doing. You're being honest because you want to help, right? You want them to be the best that they can be and whatever. But you know, people need sugar on it sometimes.
I struggle with that big time because with my kids, I feel like you are grown, you're an adult. I don't sugarcoat anything. And then I let them know, I'm telling you this because I love you and I care about your well being. But then they'll get in this attitude and say, oh, well, I'm not going to talk to you for a while because I don't like what you said. But I feel like I'm not helping you, that if I just always tell you what you want to hear, I'm not doing any justice for you.
And that's because everybody else is telling them what they want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
They want to be friends. They want to be, you know, they think they cool or whatever. So they're going to puff them up and tell them anything.
Exactly. And I tell my daughter, I'm your mother first. I'm not your friend first.
Right. So, yes, I get that. Ooh, I get something every time we meet. Thank you. Something he said too, and I wrote this down. He said, he was talking about fear. Death is not the biggest fear we have.
Yeah,
It's taking the risk to be alive and express who we really are. Wasn't that deep?
That was deep.
Wow.
I was like, you know what? That's true. Because some people would rather die than to just be who they are.
Mm-hmm.
Just to be their free, you know, unscripted, unfiltered, like they say. That's the word, unfiltered self.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a good one. Was there any quotes or anything that you all took away? And while you're thinking about it, I had another one. It was a quote by John Lennon. It said, living is easy with eyes closed. It's understand all you see, right? You know, so that means you got to be honest and accept things for what they are. This is what it is around you. You close your eyes, now you imagining, you know, what you want it to be, you know, and it goes back to those relationships for me as well, you know, accepting people for who they are and not who I want them to be, right? You know,
ignorance is bliss.
it is.
Ignorance is bliss.
It is. It's so much comfort in that, right?
Yeah.
You
If
know,
I don't know, it don't bother me.
yeah. But we have to be aware in order to make progress.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was one. Any things that stood out?
Just like the last one, the doing your best and recognizing that, you know, allow yourself some grace. You know, everything is not going to come to you, you know, at the forefront. You know, it takes time to learn to make new agreements. It's not gonna be instantaneous. It takes time.
So what do you do when you break an agreement? Okay, so now you've made these 4 agreements with yourself, right? This is who I am unapologetically, and this is how I'm going to operate in the world. But what happens when you break an agreement to yourself? What do you do?
Essentially, just recognize that. Reflect on it, honestly. Journal about it, reflect on it, and make a pact with myself to do better the next go round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Elena?
I have a question, guys. Since I'm foreigner, so you have ignorance is bliss, like Kevin said. How about ignorance to others' opinion is bliss?
Ooh. There you go.
What do you think? Because it's your life, it's your journey, it's your inner like intuition guide you to certain way to that what is your life, what you want to experience, right? And when we pay attention to other people, we compare ourselves. What does it come up? Well, I'm not rich enough. You compare yourself with somebody. I'm not beautiful enough. You compare with somebody. But if you compare yourself with yourself, it's nothing to really be not happy about. You go as you go, and you're happy with each day, right? So I don't know.
That's good.
It is good. That's the danger about social media, because people are on there so much and they're comparing their life to someone else and like, well, why am I not where she is? But you don't know what she had to do in order to get there.
And that's why we have our inner parent. I talk about inner parent, inner child, and inner goddess or inner higher self. We can grow our inner parent to the way that I understand, like, nobody have a perfect childhood. Nobody. I don't see anybody. So, and that's why we have our inner parent now. So that parent don't yell at me when I have this cake at midnight and finish this cake. And I used to be mad at myself, but now I'm like, you know what? It's okay. But tomorrow you go to the gym, okay? And you don't eat sweet for certain days, okay? So, and my inner child's like, okay, deal. But now I really want it. So when I'm my inner parent, not as critical and judgmental and say, hey, you are not good enough again. When my inner parents say, it's okay, I understand. Let's do something about this. So, and then my relationship with myself changed a lot.
I think he talked about that in the book, where we're our own worst critics, and we're worse on ourselves than anybody else. So, we kind of beat ourselves down a little bit, and that's that inner parent, the assumptions we've made with ourselves, and the agreements we've made with ourselves, that's where it is. So.
The first time I read this book, I was crying. I was like, oh my God, it's terrible. It's all me. I see myself. So thank you so much for this book. It's really refreshment.
Yes. I love always do your best as well. So let me ask, I'll give you another question. What is one limiting belief that you've held about yourself that you're ready to let go of? What is a limiting belief you've held about yourself that you're ready to let go of? I can tell you mine.
I can tell you mine.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm working through this already, but I really struggle with the imposter of you're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You're not good enough. There's more capable people out there than you, and it's how I've been taught my whole life, and so it's just unlearning that truth. That's not true. It's false. But yeah, it's hard. And that's I was going to ask how people, how do you not let the words that people say to you or the actions that hurt, how do you not let that hurt you? How do you let it just go off your, not let it affect your person? That's a big question I have, because I don't know how to do it. So maybe somebody does. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it's a word for it, and the word is not adversity. I can't think of it, but you let that negativity be your motivation, be your why to do it. Like somebody telling you can't do something, let that be the motivation for you to do it. If they say you're not good enough, be inspired by that, and not so much as to prove a point to them, but just to show yourself. Show up for you. You know what? I am good enough. I can do this. And, and you still don't care what they think or what they say, right? You know, you
So
just,
I got a story. When I first started working in corporate America, an older guy, you know, he pulled me to the side. He was like, let me buy you a coffee. You know, and when they ask you, let me buy you a coffee, that means they want to talk to you. So we went over to the coffee machine and, you know, he put the money in there and he got him a coffee. He's like, well, what you want? And I was like, well, I don't drink coffee. And he was like, well, you need to learn how to drink coffee.
Oh, wow.
So I don't drink coffee today because of that. I never
okay,
learned how to drink coffee. So
yeah,
just to prove your point there, you know, the fact that he told me that I needed to learn how to drink coffee to be successful in that organization, you know, I chose not to drink coffee and I haven't drank coffee ever. So
yeah.
Oh.
yeah.
People do believe you have to have certain characteristics
Mm-hmm.
to be like, we all don't fit a mold.
We don't.
We're all different.
Can I add one thing? I learned when I first got, you know, when I first started making money, I had to really understand that what people thought about me was really none of my business.
That part.
It didn't matter to me. It wasn't none of my business. Why you thought it, who you thought it, how you thought it. It wasn't any of my business. And that's a hard, and that.
Uh-oh. You cut off.
I said, can you hear me?
Now we can.
Okay, that's a very hard lesson to learn. Is to really stop, Maria, and just, or Marla, I'm sorry, and just say, you know what? You get to have your opinion, but your opinion of me and how I feel about me are not the same. So you take your opinion, because that's really none of my business. That's for you to reconcile with you, because 9 times out of 10, Marla, you could remind them of a person that they had in 8th grade that taught their class that they didn't like. You have to go back to the fact that very rarely does it really have anything to do with you. It's you know, what they think about you is for them to reconcile, not for you. You got to focus on what you think about you. And for me, if there was one thing I walked away was managing the negative conversations that I have in my mind that result from things that occurred, you know, throughout my life. And you'll catch I'm now more aware of some of the things that I say from a negative perspective and how I've got to focus and turn that around into a positive so I can apply it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that's great. I really love that it doesn't matter how close that you are to that person. I mean, tight. And yeah, they love you to death. They do all these things. You're supportive, but you know, they giving you that feedback and it's harsh. And I'm like, oh, I got to do all that. But, well, maybe I don't need to worry about it. I mean, I can think about, well, is that really what I want to do? Or do I need to go in a different direction?
Yeah. Now you're questioning yourself.
Yes.
So I hear a lot of things, but I don't listen to everything. So, you know, as people give me their opinions, and if it fits my life and I think it adds value, I will listen to it and I will apply it. But not everything applies to my life. So I let some of that stuff just flow in one ear and out the other. So if you can learn that skill, you'd be really in a good place. So
I totally agree with you about that, Kevin.
yeah.
Because people want you to be who they want you to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Like something off the television show.
Mm-hmm.
Right? To do what they see on TV.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
True.
So I think my big limiting belief that I've let go is being introverted. You know, that's something that I've always identified myself as introverted.
You ain't never been no introvert.
That's because you're my family. That's different. Around my family, they see me raw. They know all of me. But when it comes out, you know, to networking and building professional relationships, I'm a scary cat. I'm intimidated, you know, because for me, these are all new steps, right? These are big moves. And so I've always considered myself introverted and not able to speak up, and it's impacted my confidence. And lately, I've just been like, you know what? Forget it. And while I feel introverted, and we talked about not comparing ourselves, but sometimes we have to be woke to what we see, right? And so I'll see other things, and I'm like, now, if this person on here talking about this foolishness, and they got all these followers, and they sound like they, you know, can barely read or write, you know, but people are interested, I have something good to say. Why shouldn't I share my voice? Why shouldn't I be?
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's what I'm letting go of is, you know what? Get over it, Satira. You know? Yep. So, but yes, Kevin, that's an unfair, you know, family, that's different. You guys understand that. Family, I can be my goofy self. But yes. Anybody else have anything they want to share on that? All right. Any other questions? Anything y'all want to talk about? Because, you know, I can keep going. All right. So if you could come up with another agreement, a fifth agreement, is there a fifth agreement you would add? Or are you good with the four agreements?
I'm good.
How about accept yourself? Like accept yourself.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going. You need to be honest with yourself. You need to be honest with yourself and, you know, what you really want. And
All right. Well, I'm glad we had the opportunity to talk about this. I thought this was an overall great book. I love the fact that he ended it with prayer, with the, you know, different prayers at the end. He did take a spiritual walk with it as well. So that was a very interesting take. I like the fact that he made it, you know, where you create your own peace within yourself instead of waiting to get to heaven. You can create your heaven here, you know, right here within you. So that was a beautiful thing for me as well, you know, so that it helps me walk even more gracefully.
That is beautiful. Sometimes people want to interrupt your peace, though.
And it's true. They see you in a good space.
Yeah.
And, you know, and now they want a piece of it. And yes. All right. Well, good. All right. So let me set us up for our next call. It's always on the fourth Sunday. And let it be said here that we are agreeing that we're going to move to 2:00 so that we could do it at the winery. Okay, so I know, Marla, I know you wanted it. And Tony's open too. So she's like, oh, the winery would be nice. So those of us local, now we'll have a space where we could congregate and they won't kick us out because they don't close until 8. But then for those who want to tune in from other places, they have the equipment there so we can still stream and, you know, so I would say next time, bring your favorite beverage. You know, it don't have to be wine. And, you know, I'm drinking wine, but I'm just saying.
I'm drinking wine too. I'm saying that right now. All that I have been through this year already, I'm definitely.
Yeah, so bring your favorite beverage. Our next book is going to be Let Them. So do you want to talk about it? CJ, do you have it handy or no?
I don't have it with me right now,
Okay.
but it's by Mel Robbins, and it's called The Let Them Theory. That's the extent. I haven't even started on it yet, so I'm anxious to start on it. But yeah, and I
read
actually have you read? I just finished the High Five Habit. I finished that last week, and that was really, really good. So that's why I'm anxious to read The Let Them Theory.
Is that by Mel Robbins also?
Yes.
And what was it called?
The High Five Habit.
Oh, I'll have to read that.
Yeah, it's really good.
I have read The Let Them. It's an excellent book.
Is it?
I will read it again.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yes, it's an excellent.
Okay.
It's my new my new mantra is just let them. I can't control people. So
Let down. Okay.
I listened to a podcast that she was in, and she was breaking down the whole let them, and that's how we even got to the book. And it was like, you know what? That is so right. And she even talked about as a parent, like we're parents, right, too.
Mhm.
And she was saying how, she was, A-type personality. And so she felt like she had to be a part of everything with her kids, even. And she had to get to a point where she was just like, you know what, just let them. They got to learn. They got to figure it out, not to a point where they destroy themselves, but, just you have to be willing to let go. And so I thought that was great, too. So I'm happy to read the Let Them Theory. So we'll be talking about that next month. And we'll be at the winery, and that's at 2:00. And then I also want to tee up. So that is March, April, May. We're going to have another special guest, Dr. Dana Gianta. I met her networking with Elena. She's a doctor, and I'm going to let her give her own bio. But she wrote a couple of books, and I ran into her again, and I told her the first time I met her, I said, hey, I have a book club. I'd love for you to come. She's like, oh yeah, I'd love to. And her and I had a great conversation. And just in those few moments, it was great. Like, she's really a therapist, so
Wow.
I stopped her because I was like, I don't want to be therapy right now. Let's get through the book club. It was good. And then I ran into her again at Elena's event this past Friday. And so I got a chance to talk to her a little bit more. And so she actually has 2 books. So this is what we're going to read. It's called From Stress to Centered.
Okay.
And you can find it on Amazon.
Center.
And then she has a second book that's called 52 Weeks to Self-Love. So when I described to her the demographic of our group, we're all professionals, we're all looking, to grow and prosper and, shake some of this baggage that may be dragging us down or what have you. She actually recommended From Stress to Centered. She was like, this sounds like what your group is going to need. Mm-hmm. So since we're going to have the doctor in the house, for that month, I'm going to say dig through it, and you come with questions, because I'll have my questions that I'm still going to ask you all to stir the conversation, but we're going to pluck her brain too while we got her. Okay. So
what month is that? We're going to have that one.
So this is March. It'll be May.
It's going to be May. Okay. Not April. Okay.
Right. April is the Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. And then May is going to be Dr. Gianta.
And what's the date again on that? For April?
April 27th.
Okay.
Okay.
And then the May date is going to be March, April, May. May is going to be the 25th.
All right. Okay.
So I'll make flyers for it. I was supposed to send out a special announcement about Elena being here with us today, and I have her bio and her beautiful headshot. You did such a great job getting that information over to me, but I failed to get the flyer out. I ran out of minutes in the day to even do it, and so I apologize.
I understand. It's okay. It's okay, Satara. You're perfect.
Thank you. So yes, I don't want you to be like, oh, you did this whole thing for Dr. Gianta, you didn't do that. But yeah, I just ran out of time. So, but now I got 2 months to work on hers.
Yeah.
All right, and ladies and gentlemen, last thing, feel free to recommend a book, because what we're doing, we just listen to podcasts every day. I know, April, I shoot you stuff. I'm trying to get on WhatsApp. Facebook has kicked me out. If I can get a Facebook group going, then we can keep sharing, not Facebook, but WhatsApp. We can keep sharing these different podcasts and things that we're listening to, because that's what's inspiring the books for me. I'm like, oh, he said that. Well, what is that about? And then I go down a rabbit hole. So if we keep sharing things like that, then it'll spark more conversation and more ideas about topics.
Okay, sounds great.
Sounds awesome.
Well, you all were amazing. Let's take our group picture.
You don't want that, Satira.
That's all right. No pressure. All right, let me tee it up. Uh-oh, that wasn't it. Let me try again. All right, ready? Got it. Boom shakalaka. Excellent. Well, you all have set a great intention today for gratitude, inspiration, thankfulness, integrity, service to others, being transparent and loving. So, yeah, so let's take that energy, let's use that, and let's share that with others, right?
Amen.
And thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great rest of your day and invite a friend to the next one. Invite somebody. Let's grow this community.
Absolutely.
All right, see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Fun day.
Hello? Hello? Excuse me, who is that? Hello? Hello?